My beard is looking nice lately, and it's been like, wait, move. Have you trimmed yours down?
Oh yeah, man.
What did you do?
I'm more aerodynamic now, feller.
Bad idea, man. Bad idea. Gotta grow that sucker back out. You gotta grow it back out.
Let's see how it goes.
Very disappointed, Martin.
You shouldn't be disappointed. I look good. Of course, I looked good before.
I look good no matter what I do. So look at my hair.
I know.
I still look good.
You still rooster tailing it, but you still look good, man. That's good.
That's right. So. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. It is time once again for your two favorite facially blessed individuals to bring you podcast gold. The Two Bearded Preachers. My name is Justin. This is my buddy Martin, and we are here to have a good time, just like every time.
Absolutely.
That's how we do it. And we thank you guys so much for listening. We thank you guys for sharing. Make sure you go ahead and share us on Facebook and like us on Facebook and let everybody know about how great the Two Bearded Preachers are. Because Martin and I, we're just two preachers that happen to have fantastic beards that talk about anything and everything and make fun of most things.
Yeah. It's like stress release.
Yeah. This is therapy for me.
It helps to keep me grounded, You bring me back down to reality, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Helps me not to have a nervous breakdown.
Well, that's good too.
It is.
Sometimes the stresses of this modern world, the stresses of being in ministry, taking care of your family, it can be overwhelming, can't it, Justin?
That's right. It can be. As a matter of fact, Martin, we had a question on the Two Bearded Preachers pre-show. Mm-hmm. A friend of ours asked, and she submitted questions to us before, and she basically asked that, how do you deal with the stress of having to help and care for extended family, okay? Mm-hmm. Like you have extended family. That extended family would be like anybody outside, like your spouse and your kids, okay? Yeah. That would be considered like your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, cousins. Those are what your extended family. And so the question was, what do you do when all that stress is so much and so overwhelming that you take it out on your family, your what? How does it? All right, it's extended family, and then it's
your immediate family.
Immediate. I was gonna say core family. But
that works. I like it.
Core family works too. I like. Yeah. So but your immediate family. How do you not take it out on your immediate family? And Martin, how would you handle something like that? Dude,
I have no bearing on this conversation whatsoever. Let me tell you a little bit about my family. My family, I would say that my family is pretty close. Like my brother and my sisters and their family. Whenever we get together, we always have a good time. We enjoy one another's company. But we really don't interact with each other a whole lot. Just like I don't call them on the phone very much. I text back and forth with my brother-in-laws more than anybody else. Every once in a while, Marshall will call me when something in his Bible study gets him all worked up and he wants to complain about it. He'll call me and complain about it. That's about the extent of it. If I have a moral question, I'll ask my little sister Nugget. But the rest of the time, we're just we see each other when we visit, and we don't really get in each other's business. So I don't know. We're just a low drama family. My family is super low drama. We're probably so low drama because we don't have the capacity to handle one another's problems. I mean, we're probably just so self-absorbed we just can't handle it. But
well, how about this? Let me paint the scenario. Like, how about caring for a sick loved one?
Okay, so when my dad was dying, we got close for those 5 weeks.
Okay, now, so then how did like the stress of your dad passing away? How did that affect your immediate family, and how did you not take it out? Because this is the thing about Martin. People don't realize this about Martin is that he doesn't like, and the reason why I'm asking you this is because this is your kind of personality. I don't see you as somebody that takes things out on other people. Like you're not going to take it out on your family. That's at least the false facade that you created for me.
Yes, that is what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
But like, how do you do that? So like, your parent, your dad, like for me, my dad, when my dad passed away, and everything that had to do with that, getting the funeral ready, and how do you keep from that type of that stress there? How do you handle that and not let it affect your immediate family and how you treat them? Like, flying off the handle, yelling at your kids, yelling at your spouse or something like that. How do you handle something like that?
Well, in that example with my father passing away, Leia and the kids, they were all suffering right along with me because Leia is very close to my family. So when my dad was passing away, in many ways it was like a member of her family passing away too, right? Because we were so close. I mean, she had spent a year living with them while I was deployed. I mean, they were super close, and because of that, it wasn't just me who was going through the stress. She was going through it too. So I'm sure there were times where I was short with her and short with the kids and just devastated because that was rough. Well, you know how it goes, man. That was a rough bit of time there, and just dealing with all that, trying to figure it out. Mostly, I think that we did pretty well about having it not affect the family because we were all suffering together. But the place where it sort of exploded for me was in my work, where I just had to not be at work. I couldn't go. I didn't go to work for like a month because I was trying to visit my dad. I was trying to take care of my family too. There were times when I was at work and I had to leave. I mean, I just left because I was breaking down. I had to go home. So I don't really. The Lord, I think, has blessed my family very much. He's blessed us quite a bit with our ability to get along with each other, with our ability to enjoy one another's company. And I understand that not everybody has that. Some families have a lot of drama. They have a lot of issues going on. I think that if you focus on the love that you have for those people, that it isn't going to solve the stress problem, but that it will help you to manage it. Plus, your family has also got to realize, hey, you're going through some stuff with your extended family. Your immediate family needs to understand that. They need to amp up their care for you when that's going on, because you're not going to be able to take care of yourself as well. You're just.
And at the same time, you might not be able to take care of your immediate family as normally as you can.
You can't. You're not able to do any of that stuff because you're just think about it, man. And there's times where you go through scenarios, whether it's sickness or whether it's a loss of security, a loss of jobs or finances or that sort of stuff, where it feels like your entire world is falling apart. And when you're going through one of those things where you just don't understand how any of this stuff is happening, that's when you need to lean on your family more. So I would hope that your immediate family amps up their care for you during those times. I know that's what happens for me. And when Leia or my children go through those experiences with their families, I hope that I'll be able to help out. I hope that I'll be able to do something. Whether it's, even if it's something as simple as washing the dishes, or doing some laundry, or folding some clothes. I hope I could do something to demonstrate a little bit of love and to ease whatever burdens and stresses they're experiencing. What do you think though, Justin? How do you manage that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I don't handle stress real well. I mean, I do, but I mean, I think I handle it better than I used to when I was younger, but I think that ultimately when it comes down to it, you have to have a mutual understanding. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is that you do got to understand is that when things happen in life, like if somebody gets sick, if somebody dies, if somebody, loses a job, like you said, the thing is that life doesn't just stop.
Right.
Life keeps going. That's the hard part. And so that's why I think first and foremost, as like the immediate family has to have that understanding first and foremost. But the individual that's dealing with the stress, that is most stressed out, needs to know their limits. Mm-hmm. Like one of the things you had said was like, you were saying like at work, there are times you just had to say, guys, I got to go. And I think you can do that with your immediate family too. I think you can go and say, listen, before I say or do anything, I just need some time. Can you give me some time? And know your limits and know like, where you're at personally, to where you can just walk away. And a lot of times in like situations like that, when you're dealing with helping family, or maybe it's, somebody that's passing away or on the verge of passing away, or maybe it's somebody like a friend, a brother or sister that's lost a job and you're helping them, they're staying in your house and everything. I think that's where you say, all right, I just gotta get away for a little bit, and you gotta go and you gotta punch something or cry or do whatever it is just to get it out, so that you don't take it out on your loved ones. And I think like for me, if I'm mad, I'll go punch the punching bag, and that helps to relieve the stress for me. It helps to get it out. I'll punch it all. I'll just be like punching it, and then I'll start crying while I'm punching it. I don't do that. I'm kidding. But that's the whole thing, is that ultimately the chances of you taking it out on one of your family members is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
But that's why we, as Christian families, we have grace and mercy. And no matter what we say and do, we're there to care for each other and love for each other. And if I would say, if you want to avoid that as much as possible, which I totally agree, to avoid putting the stress you're experiencing on your family, know your limits and take a step back whenever you find it kind of building up and you're getting ready to explode. Take a step back and just even tell them, like, listen, be totally honest. Like, I got to take a step. I got to take a walk. I gotta go sit in this room with nobody around. I just got to sit in this room with this book and this diet slice and leave me alone.
I was right there with you until you said the diet slice.
Yeah, I know. It's from a movie.
I've taken the walk. I've sat in the room. I had the book.
I think it's something that Tina Fey said. I think it's a Tina Fey movie. So it's really funny. With my book, diet slice, and nobody bothering me. And honestly, that's what I kind of do when I'm stressed out. I'll step back and I'll be like, I just need some time, and so I'll go punch the punching bag or something like that.
So I'll tell you, we've run into that. Like, it might not be happening to you or I terribly often, but you run into it fairly frequently in our line of work, because people will come and they'll talk to you about it, about the experiences that they're having. I had some folks come and talk to me who were struggling with all sorts of different problems. People being abusive, people tearing stuff up, people just tearing their lives apart, sickness, illness, death, all of that stuff. They come and they talk to you. And I think that them talking about it is a way for them to sort of work through a lot of those issues. I know that helps me. I mean, yeah. It was incredible when I found out, all the different stuff that was happening with my dad. I don't know if you remember this, but I got back into town and I went and I talked to you, before I told anybody else. And it was, I don't know, for me it was brutal. But in order for me to interact with my family, I had to release at least some of that tension that was building up. I had to say it to somebody. It was funny because at the same time, my brother had gone up to, had left the hospital and gone up to Gainesville so that he could talk to Eric, his preacher. And I just remember getting a text from him saying, hey, I got to go talk to Eric. And that was it. And I was like, oh, man. Yeah. So he was, it was heavy stuff. It was the heavy stuff we've gone through as a family so far. And you get a little bit of that release, a little bit of that help when you go and you're able to bare your soul a little bit. If you ain't got no one to bare your soul to, man, you're in trouble. You're going to have a tough time.
Yeah.
You need to find that person.
We cried. We cried that night together. I remember.
I'm sure I did. I cried that entire
I
3 months. So
I remember you coming. You came to the church, right?
It was right.
You came right to the church. And I remember we stood in the. We was just standing in the doorway talking, and then we just sat there and cried. So that's basically what it was. So I remember it. So I would agree. I think if someone to talk to about what's going on, it's not so much for getting advice, but just somebody just to get it out.
Yeah.
You share your frustrations. I think that's the other thing too. Like I would encourage. Let me say it this way: church. The church. I'm speaking of the church here. Encourage you guys. Sometimes people just need to talk, and the best thing you can do is just listen. And that right there is like probably the best ministry that anybody could ever have. Like every single one of us can listen, and just be there and have somebody just be a sounding board. That's really what most people need. A lot of people aren't looking for advice. They just want to yell at somebody, or they just want to get it off their chest. And so that's what the church is for. That's what the body of Christ is for. You can talk to a friend that's in the church. You can talk to a minister. You can talk to a leader. You can talk to anybody, in my opinion, I think. But you're right. Getting it out does help.
Absolutely. So. This is one of the little things that I learned in the when I was doing that clinical pastoral education shtick.
What?
Clinical pastoral education shtick.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Yeah. I was going to be like, wow, I agree.
Hey, no. All right.
Hey, going blue.
The biggest part of pastoral work, or a huge part of it, is being a physical representation of the Lord's presence. And you don't got to do nothing special to be that. You just have to be present in that moment and speak to that individual. Let me tell you, man, when I showed up at church to talk to you, I was not definitely looking for advice. I just wasn't. I mean, you could have told me, I don't even remember it very much. I remember I showed up. I remember I told you my stuff. I don't remember a thing that you said. But I just remember that you were there, right? When I was showing up. And that's the thing. That's the thing that was so helpful for me. Because at that moment, you were doing the pastoral role of representing the presence of God at a time in my life where he was hard for me to see. Because, you're starting to question everything when that happens. When someone's close to you is dying. You question all of it. Especially when they're dying young. So you got to be reminded of it. What I learned in that clinical pastoral education thing was that for most people, if you're just there in the moment and you're willing to suffer along with them for a little while, you don't have to suffer with them long. If you just go and suffer with them for a little while, that helps to ease their burden. And easing their burden, I think, creates that scenario where all of a sudden it's easier for them to bear the burden of their core family. Bear the burden with their immediate family. Take care of the folks who are closest to them.
The so deep.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm daggone ocean over here.
Oh, so deep. Yeah.
Welcome to intermission. Yeah, intermission.
Have you watched any of the Olympics?
I tried. I watched some ladies soccer.
Did you?
For a good 10 or 15 minutes. And I watched a YouTube video, a Facebook video of that French gymnast breaking their leg. Did you see that?
I saw it on your Facebook.
It's spectacular. That is such a
my
crazy
gosh.
break. Oh.
So gross, man. So gross. That was
Those
disgusting.
are the parts of the Olympics that I like, where people break their bones.
Guy handled it like a
I couldn't
champ.
believe it. The guy was... I would have just passed out.
Did he did let out a scream,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He screamed, but then he kind of pulled off to the side. He's like,
It's a...
guys, my leg broke in half. It broke in half,
That dude
guys.
had a third knee, man.
Gonna need to get that fixed. It was off to the side too. A third knee, like right off to the side.
Have you watched much of the Olympics yet, Justin?
No, I haven't watched any. I just get the updates of what's going on. Apparently, America's kicking butt.
America.
Okay.
Of course we are. It's what we do.
Question. Did any of us question that?
Everyone knew it was going to happen.
No one ever questioned that. So this is what I picked up. America's kicking butt. Okay. Cash hates men's volleyball, which I'd like to slap him in the face because of that, but that's a whole nother story.
Is it beach volleyball?
No, it's indoor volleyball. I like both. I like beach and indoor. It's both fun for me.
Okay. All right.
I was a volleyball player. Loved it. So, I found out Cash hates men's volleyball, and then...
Is it because he can't jump very well?
Maybe
he's jealous.
Maybe.
Those guys got some good vertical.
Was it... Did you hear...
Yeah.
They do, yeah. Well, I had to have it when I was pretty... Yeah. I could jump pretty high. Not anymore.
Yeah, I don't
Knees
jump.
can't take it. If I do, I'm gonna have an extra knee just like that other guy. Just like that French dude. But apparently, was it Germany or Russia who had like all their competitors
It was
like
Russia.
tested positive?
Yeah.
It was Russia. They're all drugged up and everything. They're all doping.
Look, they've
150?
I'm pretty sure it was their entire team. Pretty sure. It was everybody.
My gosh! Hey, God, listen. You're not allowed to do this.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying hard enough. Wait a second.
Russia. We didn't. Wait a second. We didn't know we couldn't do this.
Yeah. I thought this was okay.
I thought it was okay. Yeah. That's a bad Russian impersonation.
Yeah. I don't think either one of us were even anywhere close to Russian.
Nah, I was trying.
Whatever.
I haven't been working on my Russian accent, so.
Well, if they're not showing up in the Olympics, why do I even need to bother learning a Russian accent?
No, they showed up. They showed up with drugs in their body. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Haven't you ever heard? You've heard that before, right? Yeah.
I have heard. I think it's really funny. I mean, hey, A for effort.
The only thing they did wrong was get caught.
It's not how you spell effort. Oh my gosh. You guys should have brought some extra urine with you. Some clean urine.
Let's face it. You're not going to get clean urine in Rio. You ain't going to get clean urine.
No. You're not going to get clean anything. You're not going to get clean water. You're not going to get clean air. Sir, we got the results of your urine, and you're pregnant. Oh, yay, hello. Not the results I was expecting.
Thought that having the Olympics in Rio would be a good idea?
You know what? I'm gonna say I saw one of our friends, our mutual friends on Facebook, posted how he loved Brazil and Rio, and that everybody talks so much trash about it, the Olympics being there, but it's a beautiful place and everything. But at the same time, I don't know how beautiful it really is.
I'm sure there are parts that are very beautiful. The touristy section.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But for like the overall, from what I've seen, but then again, like things like that are going to be like a documentary. It's all going to be skewed. I mean, I don't know. From what I see, it's pretty crappy over there.
It seems like it. I've seen some great videos of people pickpocketing folks just on the street. Just fantastic. People standing up in their balcony videotaping tourists walking around getting robbed. It's hilarious.
1,500 people have been murdered so far this year there. Like, yeah, there was I saw a statistic like that. People just getting murdered, and they go after tourists big time.
Well, yeah, they're going to have cash.
Question. If you're a tourist, if you're a tourist, do you go to the crappy parts of Brazil?
Nah.
You're kind of asking for it.
I don't know. There's it seems strange to me that you would have the Olympics in a place that just seems, given the political climate in the world right now, where there are terrorist attacks on a regular basis. Why are you going to hold one of the largest sporting events in the world? Why are you going to hold it in a place where you know security isn't going to be that great? Do you know where they should have had it? They should have had it in China. In China, they don't have terrorist attacks because those guys got it on lockdown. Leia told me all about it.
They'll chop everything off.
They chop it off.
They chop everything off. Like all your hands, your legs, all
I don't
your
know if
extremities.
that's true or not. It
All. They don't?
I don't know.
Are you kidding?
I
thought that was true. All right. Can I tell you why Brazil got the... Can I tell you why? I know why.
Why? The movie Rio. With the birds?
Wow.
It's a pretty good movie. It made Rio look pretty good.
Even in that movie. Even in that movie, though, had some bad sections of Rio you want to stay away from. Where the monkeys were at.
In the city. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that cockatoo
that's not
was
why.
bad news. That was a bad bird.
But he wasn't even Brazilian,
was it?
that cockatoo. Nah, man, he was like Swedish. You gotta stay away from
they're the
Swedes.
worst. I've heard that.
Especially the birds. I'll tell you why Brazil got chosen. Because it was their turn.
It was their turn.
Like, it's listen, it's like
the Olympic Committee vote or something like that.
This is the way I kind of feel. I don't know, but this is my theory on how you get chosen.
They needed
for
a
the
South
Olympics.
American country.
Is like,
that it?
No. Listen, all the countries like show up to the Olympic area like it's a deli.
Oh, and they had just picked the right number.
And they have to take a number. And then they stand there with their number, and then say you have you're like 42, and then they're like, then they go, now serving 3. And you're like,
it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, wait. And so then but I think what happened was Brazil, it's 42, and they're like, now serving 42.
All right.
Hey, it's us. All right, Olympics. That's like Brazilian dancing songs.
That's exactly what I thought.
Right?
I was at Carnival, man.
Shaking my butt.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put my painted swimsuit on. I'm gonna go paint a swimsuit on my body and get in Carnival
Didn't
mood.
Faye say we should talk about that? Why the Olympic sportsmen are so scantily clad? I
don't know if she said the Olympic outfits are scantily clad, not just the men. Like, is that a thing? Are they wearing very tight
I'm sure they
clothing?
are, because don't all the athletes wear the compression clothing now to help improve blood flow? Everything's going to be skin tight no matter what.
I don't know.
So that's going to be a given. And you're in Rio, so you know it's going to be hot. So you're going to wear less of it. You're not going to wear a parka.
Don't they have like a mosquito problem over there?
I would think so, but I don't know.
Pretty sure they do. I'd probably want to wear more clothes on account of the mosquito problem. Yeah. How tight are these clothes is my question.
Well, you don't want them to be too tight because you wouldn't want them to restrict movement, right? But you would want the benefit of the compression thing.
Aerodynamic type stuff. Like, that's what the people in the water, like the swimmers, they're like wear the tight like swim suit. It's like a swimsuit, but it's like a suit. Not like, when I say swimsuit, I don't mean like the shorts I put on to go swim. When I say swimsuit, I mean it's like a bodysuit that they wear now, right? A lot
of times they'll wear that, because it makes them more hydrodynamic.
When did you know that I was a swimmer?
I knew you were a lifeguard a long time ago.
I was a swimmer too.
Grape smugglers, huh?
In high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell everybody, the Two Bearded Preachers audience needs to know this, is that they've come a long way in Speedos. Holy cow.
Speedo
I'll tell you what, the technology in Speedos have come a long way. because I remember what I had to wear. When I was swimming, Martin, and I just want you to get this visual, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here's this visual. I had to wear like that, like you just think of like the smallest, skimpiest, like little bikini bottoms, tight as can be, skimpiest bikini bottoms that you could ever imagine, okay? And that's
Was it skimpier than Harlequin's bikini bottoms in the new Suicide Squad movie?
I have not seen that yet. Can't tell, so I can't be an accurate judge.
But you saw the trailers.
But I've not seen her.
Oh, you've not seen nothing, huh? Oh, okay.
I've seen the trailers, but I don't remember her.
I'm gonna guess that your Speedo was smaller.
The
way you describe it sounds pretty skimpy.
Listen, let me just say it this way. This is what I would do, because like you had to go up on the starting blocks. I ran like the free. I did a lot of freestyle and relays and stuff like that, and so I did a lot of that. Basically, let me just say, I would have like a pair of shorts on. I'd have my Speedo on. This itty bitty, like literally, like it was like I'm holding up my hand. It's like the size of my hand. And I have small hands. And then you stretched it on, and you pulled it all the way up, and that was all you had on. A pair of goggles and a cap. Yeah. And a head thing, like a cap, which, let me just say, doesn't help in covering anything up other than your head. And so, it's a horrible looking ensemble. So anyways, you go ahead, and I would have like a pair of like, back in the day it was like soccer shorts, Umbros, you remember those?
Yeah.
I had a pair of Umbros on, and they were a little short too. They were skimpier too. They weren't real long back then, but I had a pair of Umbros on, and like they'd be like, "Okay, everybody on the blocks," and they had those big blocks that were angled down. And you had to stand on that to jump in the water. And so as soon as they said that, I would stand up there, and then I'd drop my Umbros, throw them off to the side, and I'd be standing up there like, and then they're like, "All right, take your mark." And when you had to take your mark, you had to reach down, bend over at the waist, grab the thing, and then you're just bending over in front of everybody. You're just for leaving nothing to no stretch of the imagination whatsoever. You can, it's like everybody that's standing behind you is like, not a good sight. And then they blow the whistle. You blow the whistle and you jump in the water, and then you get out and you grab your umbrellas and you hide everything again. It is very, very embarrassing. But they don't have those anymore.
No more Umbros.
So whatever they're wearing now, it's bad, but
be worse.
Not as bad as what I used to have to wear. Yeah, it could always be worse. So
you guys should all be imagining Justin wearing a Speedo right now.
Man, let me just say this. That Speedo when I was 17, 18 years old, no. But let me just tell you, I don't think I could get it over one thigh. No. I get it like halfway up my left thigh and be like, this is it. This is all I can go. I can't wear any more than this. So, I'm a big dude. Oh, yeah. You know me. I'm a fat guy. So, ministry's done that to me. Yeah, Oh, I've seen fatter too. So,
You still knocking out all 2,000 steps every day? No? You didn't get 2,000 today?
No, man.
All that means dragging you down, feller. Dragging you down.
I think my Fitbit died too. I forgot to charge it. I leave my charger in the car, and sometimes I just hook it up when I'm on the run.
So what's your favorite Olympic sport? Is it the swimming, since you have a background in that?
I don't know if I have a favorite Olympic sport. I don't really watch the Olympics that much. I like soccer. I do like the swimming a little bit. I like volleyball. I like volleyball. I don't care who doesn't. All right, so I like the pace of it.
They do beach volleyball in the Olympics.
It's hard to do that kind of stuff. I think so, but I know they do indoor too. So they do a lot of sports
at the Olympic
nowadays.
Level. Volleyball is surprisingly entertaining. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. It keeps your attention because the ball's moving around so much. Yeah.
He goes fast too. Like, and just seeing, like, it's like everything from the when it goes to the set, and they spike it down, man. Oh my gosh, it's so fast. So I always dreamed of being able to like play with some people like that. I would never be able to keep up with them, but I would always want to try. I'd probably eat it. I'd eat it right in the face. So, like, no.
Well, they'd be targeting you.
But I remember when I was, yeah. They're like, aim at the fat guy. So, but then I remember, like, when I was in high school, we would do, like, all these drills at the beginning of the season, and I get such bad shin splints because it's constantly jumping up and down. Oh, shin splints would hurt so bad. So, I remember that so much.
See, I could get behind soccer if they didn't have to play so many matches. You know? Like, when they get to the end of soccer, I might watch the final soccer match. Or at least, maybe some of it.
Boring.
Probably not the whole thing.
Yeah. Boring. Soccer, boring. Like, if you're not on the field, boring. Like, it's just, you're playing, it's a lot of fun playing soccer. But if you're watching soccer, it's just like, this is boring. Because, like, we have the Orlando City soccer here. Yeah, so everybody likes it. And I keep getting invited. It's so boring to me.
You go for the party environment, man. You go for the camaraderie.
Yeah, I know, but
shouting and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's so boring, though.
I don't know when to shout.
I'm sorry. I know when to shout. I know all the rules. I used to play. I know all this stuff. And honestly, it'd probably drive me nuts because I'd be like, no, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You know, I'd probably be more like that. I wouldn't be fun to watch with. When I was a youth minister, I was relatively laid back when I watched sports and everything. And I would go to a lot of soccer matches. And now you're uptight. And let me tell you, they are boring. Now, chances are I'm going to end up having to go to them when my kids are in high school and stuff and playing sports like that. But I find myself as a parent a little bit more high stress. Like, I get into it a little bit too. Like when the boys they do their sparring class. Oh yeah, I get into it. So, like, I'll be like when Jonas is like, when he's like, getting ready to go up, I'm like, I look at him and I give him the signal. I'm like, hey, do this, do that. I tell him what to do. He's like, I got this, and then like now they're doing, Jonas and Toby are both doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu on Wednesdays. And I actually help teach that class. And I got to be real careful. Like, I'm fine, but there's parts of me going, why in the world are you giving him your back? What are you doing? Like, I just want to be like,
smack him on the back of the head. What are you doing?
Shoulders to the ground. Shoulders to the ground. We don't give him our back. But I don't. I'm like, I did. It was funny because they were like, hey, Dad, can we practice here at the house? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You guys keep giving each other your backs. It's like you guys you're not doing anything you were taught. Like, oh, bad. So I got to be a little careful on that. I can get too much into it. So I'm not really watching a whole lot of Olympics. Well. Other than that dude breaking his leg. That was entertaining.
Wonderful. I'm hoping for... I like that when the Olympics are wrapping up, when they're concluding, that you can watch the videos of all of the epic fails that happened during the Olympics. That's really what I like. Let's see him break some bones. Let's see some people fall over. Let's watch all those things. It makes me feel a little better about myself. When you have somebody swimming and they break the world record by 2 seconds, which happened, by the way. Can you imagine that? 2 seconds? In swimming?
Wow.
I don't know.
Who did it?
But that's insane. This is crazy. I don't care about swimming enough to know these people's names. I'm just floored that someone can break a world record by 2 seconds in a swimming event, and it's not like swimming miles. Know what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
And that I almost broke a record
Biggest splash.
in high school. I was 2 seconds away from breaking the county record.
Best looking in a Speedo. That record?
Yep. 2 seconds away from it.
Out of the Speedo.
I was a very hairy young man.
As you can tell from the beard now, I mean, it's always been a lot of follicles everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. So
I could probably win hairiest feet.
That's very
I have
close.
some pretty hairy feet. So.
I don't have very hairy feet at all. No, not really. So. I always like to bring people up, like to help me with the sermon sometimes. You know, like for example, a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I got my buddy Zibby up.
Oh yeah,
he works out with me. Yeah. Did I tell you about the illustration I did with him?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it was about temptation. And the point was, you can resist for a period of time. Like, you can resist temptation for a season. But if it keeps happening, eventually something's going to break. Okay? Like, it's just the nature of it. If you depend on yourself, then you're not going to be able to make it. And so I brought Zibby up and I said, this is my buddy Zibby and everything. And this guy, and he's tough. Like, he benches like 300 pounds. He's a big dude. He's a real tough dude. And I just go like this. I said, this guy is so tough. I can do this and slug him in the arm. And it doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't hurt him because he's so tough and so strong. And he's like looking at me like that. And I go, he's so tough and so strong. I can do this again. Boom. And I hit him again like that. And then I just kept doing it. And I said, as a matter of fact, I could sit here and I could just keep hitting him in the same spot over and over and over and over and over. I could do this 200 times on this arm alone. And the Zibby knows I can turn and I can do 200. And I was like joking. And I probably hit the guy like 30, 40 times. Okay? In the same spot over and over. I said, eventually, you're going to have to do something about it. Eventually you can't take it anymore. And like, I turn and I look at him and he is just staring me down. He's just like, I'm like, dude, you can sit down now. You can sit down. You get out of here.
What you were going to do?
I did. He was all right with it. I was afraid he was going to hit me back, but then, so last week I was talking about spiritual gifts and the diversity of spiritual gifts in the church. Okay, and I say, listen, we all have different gifts. And I was talking about 1 Corinthians chapter 12, when Paul is talking about essentially the issue in the Corinthian church where they were elevating some gifts over others. And he was talking about there's different gifts and there works different services and different works. And so that's okay. That's good. We're talking about how that, the diversity, that we need to embrace the diversity and not, elevate one gift over another. And I said, for example, and we did during VBS, there was like an illustration. And so like, one of the guys he did the lesson. I said, I messaged him. I said, hey man, can you come and do help me with this? And I said, he goes, yeah man, no problem. I'll be there. This is the lesson. Okay. I stand everybody up. He's up there with me and I tell everybody, hey, he did the lesson. I'm going to use this illustration from VBS with you all. So I said, okay, everybody stretch out a little bit, loosen up, get the blood flowing and everything like that. And I go, how many of you can touch your toes? If you're honest with yourself, how many of you can touch your toes? All right, that was, and then how many of you for sure you can't touch your toes? And everybody raise their hands. So there's people that can touch their toes. There are people that can't. Well, my buddy was going to come up, and I was like, I leaned down and I touched my knees. I was like, this is as far as I got. Okay, this is all I can get. And he was supposed to go down and touch his toes. And the whole point was, I was going to be like, I said, is it all right? I mean, is it okay that I just got to my knees? And I'm like, no. What if the job that's needed is I have to touch my toes in order to accomplish the task given? But I can't do it. But that's okay. And then I would say, hey, can you touch my toes for me? I would say that to the guy, and he turned, and he reaches down and touches my toes. And I'm like, I don't need to touch my toes because he can do it for me. And it's like kind of a funny joke about, hey, that's not my gift. I'm not gifted at touching my toes, but they are. Well, he didn't show up. So he doesn't show up, no lie. And I'm just like, oh man, what do I do? So I go to somebody else. I say, hey buddy, can you come up here? He's like, man, I ain't coming up. I didn't have time to tell anybody what I was doing. So I said, I'm just going to wing it. Yeah. I said, I'm just going to wing it. And I go out there and I do the whole thing. I was like, yeah, everybody stand up, shake your arms out and everything. I said, I'm telling them it's from, a lesson from VBS. I said, how many of you can touch your toes? And people raise their hand. I said, how many you can't? I was like, and I was like, when you touch your toes, you got to do it right. You can't just cheat, this and that. I was joking around with everybody. And so I said, okay, on the count of 3, touch your toes. 1, 2, 3. Everybody reach down. And so I reach down and I touch my knees just like that. Some people touch their toes. Some people just touch where as far as they can go, maybe down to their shins and everything like that. And I'm like, all right, good job, good job. And then I'm standing there. I look over at Miss Carolyn. You remember Miss Carolyn?
Yeah.
Like, she's like in her 80s. Yeah. She walks up to the front and she goes, excuse me, Justin. And I look over at her and here I am touching my knees and she bends down and touches her toes. And I go, ready? I go, Miss Carolyn, can you join me up here real quick? No lie. Just not missing a beat. I was like, I'm going to wing it, not miss a beat. She comes stand next to me. I said, okay, so Miss Carolyn can touch her toes, but I can't. And I just do the whole thing. And I go, you know what? I said, is it okay that I can't touch my toes? But what if that's what the job's needed? What if that's it? And you have to have somebody to touch their toes. You have to have someone touch your toes in order to accomplish the task, the purpose, the reason that you're there. I said, but I can't do it. That's all right. And then I turned to Miss Carolyn. I said, Miss Carolyn, can you please touch my toes for me? She reaches down, touches my toes, and everybody's like, yeah, yeah. I was like, dude, perfect. Home run. Miss Carolyn to save the day.
Miss Carolyn's a better choice than whoever else you had. I don't even know.
Exactly.
She's
so
cool.
It worked. So it was really funny because, like, no lie, I'm standing there and she walks up the front and she bends down and touch. She goes, hey, Justin, look at this. And she just touched and I go, come here. And they just went from there. It worked. It was really fun. It was cool. And so, but it worked out real well.